Yo, what's going down with it, y'all, man? This is the Kid, DC Wrestling. This is going to be my official preview and predictions for AEW Revolution next Sunday night. Should be a good show, man. We got 9 matches on this card, one taking on the pre-show. But you already know how AEW is, man. Last year, AEW was like all their pay-per-views last year was pretty much was some good pay-per-views, man. They had hit after hit after hit. So, I don't even think this year gonna be no exception, man. So we ain't gonna waste any time. We're gonna get right into it, man. We got Will Ospreay versus Kyle Fletcher in a steel cage match. I'm assuming this is gonna be the end of the Ospreay and Fletcher and the Don Callis feud. They pretty much got one win against one another. Kyle won the first match. Ospreay won the next one. So settle it here in the steel cage match, and you already know this is gonna be a good one. I do see Will Ospreay winning here, finishing off the feud with Kyle Fletcher. But regardless, just like their previous matches, this should be a really good one. So there's probably gonna be a lot of more blood. There's gonna be some crazy stuff, but at the end, I do think Will Ospreay is gonna get the win over Kyle Fletcher. Next match, you got MGF and Hangman Adam Page. These two been kind of going at it the past couple weeks from what I've been seeing. They had a really good segment a couple weeks on AEW Dynamite to be in fact. And this is probably going to be one of the most like sleeper matches I think of the night. I know, in my personal opinion. But if we talking strictly who should win this, I think Max is winning this one. I think Maxwell either he wins by a roll up or he tries to cheat to win. He gonna do something, but in the end, I have MJF going over, and I have MJF beating Hangman Adam Page. And it seems like that they're starting the revival of Hangman Adam Page. You could tell he felt obviously very remorseful what he did to Christopher Daniels, ending his career. And it seems like they're starting the true redemption arc of Hangman Adam Page. I mean, look who he's fighting at the pay-per-view. He's fighting Max. So, but as we move on, we got Swerve versus Ricochet for the AEW World Championship to determine the number one contender for the AEW World Championship. Ricochet, he's starting. I think Ricochet is starting to come into his own. This heel turn he's been doing. I think he's starting to come into his own. Definitely. I know I've been saying like that's all he really needed, man. He just needed a character. He just needed something to stand out with, and the sky's the limit for him. And then you look at the possibility, because I saw on Dynamite recently that apparently Prince Nana, apparently he's getting ready. He might be turning heel, possibly turning on Swerve, maybe joining with Ricochet, which is crazy to think about. But as far as this match goes, I think Swerve winning this one. I feel like Swerve is going to be the next up-and-coming person to challenge for the AEW World Champion. Ricochet, he going to get his time. It's just not next Sunday, though. Just not next Sunday. Mercedes Moné versus Mano Watabani. I know I mispronounced her name. I apologize. This is for the AEW TBS Championship. This is going to be... Mercedes been killing it in these matches, man. A lot of her matches have been really good, But Mercedes is winning this one. I feel like Mercedes is, again, she's like Kenny Omega at this point now. She's winning all the belts, holding all the titles. I don't really know too much about Momo Wannabe, knowing that she's from another wrestling promotion, but nevertheless, they brought her over there for a reason. And her and Mercedes, man, they could have a really good match for the title. Next, you got the Hurt Syndicate, Bobby Lashley, Shelton Benjamin versus the Outrunners for the AEW World Tag Team Champions. Now, the Outrunners, they are some of the most over tag teams right now in AEW. They kind of remind me of the Acclaim back in when the Acclaim was actually popular. Up and coming tag team, very over with the crowd. Like, people are loving this team known as the Outrunners, man. And I know some people want to low-key see them win this match, but it ain't going to happen, man. Hurt Syndicate, they beating the brakes off the Outrunners. They running through the Outrunners, and they walking out still the AEW World Tag Team Champions. Bobby Lashley, Shelton Benjamin, the Hurt Syndicate, like, MVP, may I need say more? Really nothing else to say about that, man. Now, speaking of feuds ending, man, this is definitely the end of this feud, the trilogy. Timeless Tony Storm versus Mariah May for the World Championship. I think they're building this as the Hollywood finale or something like that, which is ironic because this pay per view is taking place in the city of fallen angels known as Hollywood. But I think Tony Storm winning this match. She just won the title. She ain't losing it. Tony Storm right now is the biggest women's wrestler in AEW right now. Mariah May, I'm not gonna lie, I really have no idea where she goes after this. Hell, a part of me kind of believes that she'll probably, I don't want to say fade into obscurity, but she'll just be another women's wrestler on the roster who, ain't really doing nothing at the moment. Like Mariah May, like her entire run so far, with Tony Storm has been good. But outside of the program with Tony Storm, it just hasn't been anything. Hell, her title reign wasn't really anything. You could tell that they were just having her hold it until it was time for Tony Storm to win it back. But it should be a good match, man. Tony Storm, they're going to win. Konosuke Konetsuka versus Kenny Omega for the International Championship. This is going to be one of the best matches the damn night, man. Oh, my God. And I didn't mean to go off like that, but they had a crazy match, if you remember, back at All Out. I forgot what year it was. I think it was 23, I think it was. But that match, I think, was in one of my best AEW matches of that year. And now they're getting ready to go at it again for the International Championship. There is a possibility. Now, I will say this, though. I low-key think, because I know Takeshita won the last time they went around, but I think this time there is a possibility that Kenny Omega does win here. I think Kenny Omega beats Takeshita and becomes the new international champion. And I recently heard there were rumors going around that they are planning on unifying the international championship and Okada's continental championship. And when Kenny and Okada had that stare down back at World's End, what was in the background? AEW All in Texas. And I even said it right there. That could definitely be the big match for All In next year. And if Kenny's, still international champion during this time, they'll probably do a winner takes all title unification match to make it even more crazier. So we'll see what happens. But I think Kenny wins that match. And then the main event, Jon Moxley versus Cope. A lot of people are done with the Death Riders. People just don't care about them anymore. Me personally, I still think Darby's the one. I think Darby is going to beat Jon Moxley. The story's just meant for him. Cope or Adam Copeland or Edge, like I just don't see him winning the World Championship. Not next Sunday. Maybe down the road, but not next Sunday, man. Just not next Sunday. I think Jon Moxley retains the title, man, and I'll ultimately see what happens next. But like I said, man, AEW Revolution should be a really good show, and ultimately, man, we'll see what happens.